Adam here from the Walzer Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is compare a couple of GMC models. Now on the one side we have the 2024 GMC Terrain, and on the other we have the 2025 model. So we'll look at some of the differences to the interior, exterior, some of the trim level specifics, and then see which one might just be perfect for you. Let's begin by looking at the exterior on the 2024 model. Now this will come in 4 different trim levels: SLE, SLT, AT4, and the Denali. Now the one we have here today is the SLT with a couple packages added on as well. So there's lots of different ways to configure the 2024 model with either front wheel drive or all wheel drive as well. Now this will come with a 1.5 liter turbocharged engine. It's going to give you a good amount of horsepower, but the great thing is the fuel economy. Even with the all wheel drive, you're still looking at 28 mpg on the highway with the 2024 model. Now it is important to note that when moving to the 2025, you're keeping the exact same powertrain. The only difference there would be some of the transmission options can change, where this has a 9-speed automatic. That one can either have a CVT or an automatic transmission. Now looking at the exterior on this model, there's a lot of really cool colors for the 2024. Now this particular one is the SLT, and it will come with the blacked out 19-inch wheels. You also get the blacked out badging around the vehicle, and some of the grille and treatment will also be blacked out, which does look pretty sporty. Now, a lot of the big changes that happened between the 24 and the 25 you notice up front. It's gone with kind of more of a truck-like appearance to the next model over, as it looks a little bit higher off the ground and just a little bit more aggressive overall. You do notice the C-shaped headlights that are found in some of the Sierra models also changed a little bit for the 2025 model. Now this one will keep the black mirror caps as well. You do get the roof rack rails, so if you want to throw the crossbars on this model, you can throw the mountain bikes up there, maybe the roof rack, go skiing for the weekend. Lots of usability out of the GMC Terrain. Now before we hop inside this one, let's jump over to the 2025 model. We'll check out that exterior. Now looking on the exterior of the 2025 model, obviously you can see, like I said, the updates do happen to the front. But like I said, what remains is the 1.5 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. It's getting you about 175 horsepower, but this one goes to an 8-speed automatic when you're looking at the all-wheel drive, and the front-wheel drive would get a CVT transmission. But what's great about this vehicle, like I said, it is a little bit more muscular looking on the exterior, and I like the design language that they've gone with. Both have the 19-inch wheels. These would be a little bit different finish, as these are an option for this model as well. Now, one important thing to note is that they've switched up the trim levels a little bit. For 2025, the Elevation would be kind of the base model. Now, this one does have a couple packages added in as well that will give you some pretty cool creature comforts, and like I said, the wheel option. Now, you will see the AT4 as well as a Denali trim for the 2026 model lineup, but for now, the Elevation will be it for 2025. The big options are going to be front-wheel drive versus the all-wheel drive, and just some of those premium or convenience packages. Now, a lot of similarities between the two, like I said, with fuel economy is pretty much going to remain the same, as well as the engine, but the interior is totally different. So before we hop in and look at that, let's jump back over to the 24. We'll check that one out. All right, so now inside the 24 model, again, this is the SLT, so it comes with a lot of creature comforts in here. The first thing you notice is going to be the leather appointed seats, which are going to be heated for those Minnesota winters. As well, you get a heated steering wheel in here that's going to be leather wrapped. It's very comfortable. The heat is great, especially when it's cold like today. Plus, you get a remote start standard on the key fob, so you can get it nice and toasty before you hop in. Now, the big difference here between the 24 and the 25 is going to be the infotainment screen. Now, this is an 8-inch display, but you are going to get Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto, and in this system, it is wireless. So you've got your phone. There's a nice little storage area down here with a USB and USB-C charging area. You've also got the cup holders, your heated seats, and then this is where you can select between the 2-wheel drive or the 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive mode. Now, this one does also get the dual zone climate control, so driver and passenger can pick their own climate, and I like the layout of everything. Nothing's overcomplicated. If you want something a little bit more simple, the screen is here. You do have built-in navigation as well if you'd like to use that, but the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto makes it very simple when you're on the go, and the backup camera in this little screen is actually crystal clear. It makes it pretty easy to back up, paired with the parking sensors. So if you start getting close to something, it will notify you and let you know. Now, this one will also get memory seats for 2 drivers up here. And then if we're looking at the second row, interior dimensions are going to pretty much remain the same. I noticed headroom when I was crawling around in the back or in the rear area. Everything seems very similar between the two, so they wanted to keep the compact size of the Terrain to make it easy to park, make it still fit 5 adults in here comfortably, and you still get headroom in the back. One thing that's really cool on both the models we have here today is the full panoramic sunroof. If you got the kids in the back or rear passengers, it definitely opens it up, especially with the darker interior in here. Makes it really a very pleasant place to be. Now in the back, you do get a power liftgate on this model, and what's nice is there's a lot of storage space back there. Not only do you get a 60-40 split rear seat, you could pull a little handle on the side that will kick the seat down for you automatically, and it makes it really easy to load everything up, and you get a little hidden storage compartment underneath the floor, which also is very convenient. Now the 2025 does add a few new safety features, but the 24 does keep a lot of great stuff in here. You've got the adaptive cruise control where you can set 3, 2, 1 or car length distance ahead of you. You've got blind spot monitoring. This also will have some emergency braking features. So lots of good convenient stuff in here that is only improved upon for the 2025 model. So overall, I like the gear select down here. So it's just buttons, so it frees up room. You actually get a little pass-through storage area down below as well, but I like the seats. The seated position is comfortable. I was driving us around this morning. It's easy to park. It's easy to get in and out of spaces. I love the visibility in here as well. And there's just a lot to like about the GMC Terrain, whether it's fuel economy or style. I think the 2024 is a great model for the GMC lineup. But it's only improved upon a little bit by the 25. So we'll hop over there, check out that driver's seat. Okay, so now behind the wheel of the 25, immediately you notice the huge 15-inch display in this model, and then you get a full digital gauge cluster versus the 24 model. It is noticeably pretty cool, and obviously something, if you're looking for the added technology, that's going to be one of the biggest differences with the 25. Now I've paired my phone. This one also has wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. All the icons can be on one screen. You can do Google Maps or Spotify on the other. And just like the 24, this does have built-in navigation. I always thought, why would you need that? But if you're on a road trip and maybe you lose cell signal, you'll still get the GPS feed. So that is pretty cool as well. Now, if you click the home screen here, this will have Google Assistant as well as Amazon Alexa built in. So there's lots of cool usability there. Plus the Apple CarPlay makes it so convenient. And the camera, you can pull that up pretty much at any time. You can do the grid view just like the 24. This one is a huge camera, and if you hit something, you'd have to be trying pretty hard because it is crystal clear and also gives you parking sensors. Now, these seats are called Cortex, so it's a little bit different than the real leather or even the mock leather. It's very wearable. It's easy to clean. If you got the kids in the back, they're spilling ice cream or chips or whatever back there, you can just wipe it off, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of like Subaru and Toyota have their own. GMC now has this Cortex, and it wears nicely, like I said, and does feel very comfortable. These are also heated as well as ventilated seats with this package that's added into this model, and these seats are extremely comfortable, just like the 24 model. Now this one will also get the leather wrap steering wheel here that will be heated for those Minnesota winters, along with the remote start and just a little bit of a different style key fob, more like the Sierras that we find in the lineup. Now this one gets the gear select up above here. Again, just a little bit more like some of the GMC changes, but it does free up a lot of space, and you do get the pass-through down here. Whether you're storing your purse or anything else, gives you lots of room and kind of out-of-sight storage. Now what's cool about this digital gauge cluster here, so you've got two different map views in the digital gauge cluster here. You can also keep track of your pertinent information, and this one will also get that 3-2-1 adaptive cruise control, and like I said, a little bit different safety features added in. So this one gets standard automated emergency braking with pedestrian and now cyclist detection. So when those bikers are on the road, you can maybe make sure if you don't see them, the car would see them. You get standard blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert. Plus, like I said, that adaptive cruise control is going to be standard on all the 25 models. Now you do get a selectable drive mode over here, so you can go between a normal, off-road, or a snow and ice mode. So that can just help you out to kind of fine-tune some of your driving style. Now, from the driver's seat, I love the visibility. Very similar to the 24 model. The mirrors, like I said, with the blind spot monitoring, are nice and big, make it easy to see, and if you can't, that will certainly help you out with someone being in your blind spot. Just makes it very convenient when you're on the go. Now, this one also does get the panoramic sunroof up above. Very similar. Opens it up, especially with the all-black interior like this one is. I think that's a great option to add in. And then in the back, you get lots of room back there as well. I was surprised because where I'm driving at 6'1", I get headspace, I get knee room in the back. You could easily put 4, if not 5 adults in here and be comfortable when you're on the go. Then storage in the back, power liftgate on the elevation. As well, you get that underfloor storage back there and the ease of use of the 60-40 split rear seats. So one other thing that's pretty cool in this model is you do get wireless phone charging. It's right here. It's very easy. Like I said, they don't want you messing with your phone when you're on the go, but when that's nice and charged up and you've got the CarPlay going, I love that feature of just how easy it is. And with this screen, you've also got the volume knob on here, which makes it really easy, and the dual zone climate control. And I love these buttons. Makes me feel like I'm in a fighter jet. You can just click through them, change them easily. That is pretty cool. Now there is also a few other little buttons down here for some of your safety features as well. This one's got the park assist, or like I said, you can click that, pull the camera up right in there. That is very, very cool. It makes it very easy to keep your focus on the road ahead. So let's talk about the price. Now the MSRP is going to come in around $39,000 for this model and about $40,000 for the SLT model in the 2024. So obviously there will be some discounts on the 24 now that the 25 is out. So that one will be a little bit less expensive, but for what you're getting, it really depends on what you want. Maybe you don't want all the technology and the features, you just want the standard smaller 8-inch display, still getting Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in there, still getting the same engine and basically the same transmission out of that model. But this one, just a little bit more updated. Obviously, you're gonna get the new grille and headlight design up front and then the huge 15-inch display, but there's so many similarities. Even the ride and drive is gonna be very similar between the two. I did find the 25 to be a little bit quieter inside when you're on the road, but for the most part, I think there's a lot to like about each model. So I think the best thing to do if you're considering the 24 or the 25, get in the driver's seat, play with the infotainment screen, hop in the back, pop the power liftgate, check them all out and see which one might just be perfect for you. Now that was just a quick look at the 2024 versus the 2025 GMC Terrain. Now if you have any other questions or you'd like to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.